an ass, but he's not a dumbass. He had to know that this was
I light up the club with one stanza. Niggas getting their hands up, chicks come out their pants. What? It's been a minute since I first put it down. Bought you them 2 drunk hits from.
To be honest, I'm a dude. I can get down with the skank factor a little bit.
Down, that's my nigga. We still the same, cause Vic without the 2 drunk click, that's not a game. Look, we on a different page, but it's the same book. It's still in with Vic.
Grey Goose was flowing nonstop. It was like it was on tap. The music was tight. And
this is aimless. They can't recognize this game. Niggas the game is I'm dynamite. When I rock the mic, it's like I cannot be stopped.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vic. Just checking in for a few minutes. I want to talk with you a little bit about Snoop Dogg. Now, I know you guys have heard me talk recently about some of the artists who within recent weeks have made some comebacks. Some who haven't been away that long, but others who've been away for a long time, like Sade, Tony Braxton. Where's Tony been? Tony Braxton is back. You know, Rakim, long anticipated comeback. And then other artists who haven't been away for as long, like Usher. Usher's got a new album. And Snoop has a new album. And even Mac 10 is back. Who remembers Mac 10? I guarantee you I'm the only one who remembers Mac 10. Folk live. Mac 10. Y'all don't know about no Mac 10. But speaking of 90s rap music, your boy Snoop Dogg is back. And this is a cat that just keeps coming. And by far, he's the one who fascinates me the most. You know, because he does manage to just keep coming in an industry that is really flaky, and in a particular aspect of the industry, the rap aspect, that particular genre of the music industry, which is probably one of the flakiest of the flaky genres of music. And I say that to say that because if you had look, I talked to somebody about this the other day. We got into an interesting conversation. If you looked at you could say 1993, I guess, was when Snoop really just blew up with the whole Dr. Dre, Death Row, and West Coast kind of gangster rap movement, I guess you could call it, or debacle, depends on what side of that you fall on. But in any event, if you had asked me at that time, would Snoop be, over 15 years later, still be a prominent figure in mainstream media? You know, and I'm not saying music, because I don't think anybody would argue that Snoop doesn't sell albums like he used to. But in reality, who does? What artist does sell albums the way they used to? It's a different industry. It's a different time right now. So that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. But as a figure, Snoop still holds a pretty good position in terms of popularity, in terms of just iconic status. And that just blows my mind. Not to say that he shouldn't. I'm not, trying to make no mistake. I'm not hating here. I'm not saying he shouldn't. It just blows my mind that he does, because here's a man who is the epitome, represents image-wise, the epitome of everything that is wrong with this, I guess, subculture. I think you could say urban subculture of hip hop or rap music, I should say, with the drug dealing, gang banging. This is a confirmed Crip now. Gang banging, pot smoking, blinged out pimp image, and again, that's an image. And I think hopefully we're all grown-ups, old enough to understand the difference between an image that's being portrayed, kind of like a character, as opposed to who the man really is. I don't know Snoop, who he really is. I know the image that he presents, but that's what I'm driving at. This image has not only survived, but managed to thrive in mainstream media. And I could get into a few good underhanded reasons why that image has survived in mainstream media. There are a lot of people who want that image to survive, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna get deep like that on this one. I only got a few minutes, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the phenomenon that is Snoop Dogg. And the reason I got on this is because several weeks ago, Snoop was on The View with, I'm talking about the Barbara Walters The View, okay? Barbara Walters chopping it up with Snoop, like, you know, like they go way back. And, you know, and he has been on the show before. And what's really interesting about this is, let's be for real, okay? The View's key core demographic is white, middle-aged housewives, all right? Now, I'm not saying that nobody else watches that show, but that's the core demographic, okay? Don't start jumping out the woodwork, want to mess with me about, we all know, let's be for real, that's the demographic, okay? Now, Barbara brought Snoop on to talk about his latest album, and it was a conversation that went a little bit like this. Barbara Walters asked Snoop, she said, now Snoop, I want to know, in this new album of yours, are there any bitches and hoes? Are there any bitches and hoes in that new album of yours? This is on daytime television. Snoop Dogg sitting there, you know, in classic Snoop Dogg fashion, loped out, sunglasses, bloke, and responded in classic Snoop Dogg fashion. He said, well, Barbara, you know, Snoop Dogg as an artist, you know, I have to do what my fans expect me to do, what they expect to hear out of Snoop Dogg. And you know, as I grow as an artist, you know, maybe that part of my life somehow gets removed, but there's still an aspect of that part of my life. So, you know, so as long as there's an aspect of that, then I have to represent that properly. And, you know, so you will find some bitches and hoes, not as much. I mean, come on. So, but even better was the crowd's reaction. You know, the camera panned out and you could see ladies in the crowd just, oh, Snoop, bitches and hoes, bitches and hoes. Man, all I'm saying is this speaks volumes about where we are in this society and what has been kind of interwoven into the fabric of mainstream society and what is considered acceptable and not acceptable anymore. And again, before you guys start messing with me now, look, I'm not hating. I'm not. You know, I enjoy a lot of Snoop Dogg music, you know, and probably more so than a lot of people who don't really buy the albums anymore. You know, I think Snoop contributes, has a lot to give musically, if not necessarily lyrically. You know, I think he's a talented cat, and far be it from me to hate on anybody who's found a niche and is just working it to, you know, work that sucker to death, homeboy. You know, do your thing, and Snoop is doing it to death. Yeah, so again, this is no hatred coming here. You know, I'm just expressing on a deeper level, what does that really mean? You know, you guys, you tell me, what do you think that means when this particular image, you know, of all the rappers who kind of come and gone by the wayside, and let's face it, you know, now I'm about to get the rappers pissed off at me, and I produce rap music, so, you know, don't jump down my throat, but the reality is, the rap music, at least the type of rap music that Snoop rose to prominence with, it's a thing of the past. Yes, there are a few outliers who are still, you know, putting gat sounds in their rap songs, and cats who are just way behind the times with that madness. But that's not mainstream music anymore, you know. So with that in mind, you got Snoop, who's still a very, very much a mainstream personality. And, you know, what do you think about that? Get at me at vic@bigvicpresents.com. That's Vic with a K. And let me know what you think. And, you know, because there's a whole other side of Snoop. A lot of you may not know. You know, he does a lot for the youth. He's got his pop, kind of like a Pop Warner type thing going on with sports. You know, and I know he's really involved in that, and his charities and things like that. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, but Snoop was at the Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Awards. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Justin Bieber, baby, 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 and Snoop Dogg in the audience. So what does that say? Anyway, that's me. Just once again, the Ramblers of the West Coast super producer, Big Vic. Get at me, Vic at BigVicPresents.com. That's Vic with a K, baby.